Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody out there. Jason here at Signature Esports, and a pleasure it is to have you here live and in charge for Lookout Done Green Action presented by Lunatic Designs. Kigo knocking things down, doing things like he normally does. Make sure you get out there if you need a paint done or anything like that. We appreciate it. As we look forward to the Midnight Thunder series back here on our platform as the timer still goes here in the great state of Missouri. It is SIM500.com. If you want to be a part of this series, I encourage you to do so. They do have some social media posts out there. They did share some things out there as well. I want to make sure that we give credit where credit's due. Make sure you join the series. Get out there, have some fun, and join their Discord. But also, this is a free series. You can get out here and race it and enjoy yourself and just take the time. Take the time to get out there and learn a thing or 10 about what's going on. Pleasure, folks. Homestead Miami Speedway here tonight for week 1 as they get out there and they're qualifying. Homestead is going to be fast. These drivers are going to be, they're going to run 65 laps, and it's going to be some of the fastest lines you're going to see. It's going to be insane to watch. 78 degrees on the track temperature. 78 degrees on the air temperature. 45% humidity. Partly cloudy sky with a 2-mile wind. 104 degrees on the track temperature here at Homestead Miami Speedway, home of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series Championship. It is going to be a blast to see this track get another championship race. I'm looking forward to that. I hope it works out that we're going to be able to watch that from our point of view. Tyler Dalton, Mark Jorgensen Jr. is going to be your front row here on tonight's race. 2 100ths of a second separating those drivers. It's pretty crazy. Well, 18 100ths of a second if you want to be more specific. Bentley Glazer, Cody Harris are going to make up row number 2. Kogar Sethvadi in row number 3. Jake Champion and Kevin Stone in row number 4. Greasebaum Fleckenstein in row number 5. Churchy is going to be out there with Ron Holyfield in row number 6. Row 7 is going to be Huggins and Jeff K. Jerry Culver, Rick Kennedy out there. Row 8, Jatina is going to be out there with Matt Lewis in row 9. Row 10 will be Bryant Workman and Cole Morton. And then Sobchak. Is it Sobchak? Scotty, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize, but Sobchak, I think, is what it's going to be. The 81 is going to start there in 21st. If I'm saying it wrong, I do apologize, but I will always make the attempt to get it right. Drivers are loading in to grid here. Homestead is such an awesome track. 1.5 mile length racing surface. Straightaways are crazy. The corners 1 and 2 completely different than 3 and 4. You might see drivers change lanes. He might run high in 3 and 4 and low in 1 and 2. You might see him run and try to rip the wall for the entirety of this race. But it'll be crazy to see. The driver's going to pull off pit road, and we are looking to make things happen. Everybody leaving. Tyler Dalton looking to carry on some momentum. We like seeing the SIM500 WBD diecast car out there. But the old 88 Royal Navy paint scheme, Jorgensen Jr. up in the mix here to make it happen. Cody Harris, of course, seen it work. Brings the field here tonight pretty decent as well. Massive statement for these drivers. Going to be crazy to watch. I love seeing it. I hope you all do as well. All right, pace car is going to lead around 3 and 4. 1988, 36, 95. That'll be the front 2 rows here. Kogar is going to be good. Fatty's going to be good. Everybody's ready. They'll lead them off. Pace car is going to do the thing. And we are looking to make it happen. Green, green, green. The drivers into the corner. 19 to the 88, 36 on the inside of the 95. Down the back straightaway they go. Lap 1 underway. Holyfield working. Churchill on the bottom side of the 87. Drivers trying to hold on. Gonna have to make it work early. Dalton Jorgensen. Tyler Dalton's been tough to beat in these cars. And as we're in season 34, great to see. 20 drivers on the racing surface. Jerry Culverton on the field off 5 from the start of the race. That might be saving. Might see what he does. Field management is going to be key. Drivers have 2 sets of tires on the wall. 3 sets of tires total. 2 attempts at a green and white checkered on the racing surface if they do need it. But, you know. Oh, baby. Jake Champion got freed up a little bit there by Kevin Stone. 98 on the outside. Not Kevin Stone. Seth Foudy. Kevin Stone on the outside. Drops into the corner. Matching paint schemes for the 17 and the 98. Champion battling back as they work. Into the corner they go. Tyler Dalton, 1/8 of a second difference here. Jorgensen on tire save mode. Okay, how about Cody Harris up the spot here? Doing what he can. All Chevrolets for the top 5. Griesbaum and Stone are going to be in the Ford. Are going to be in their Fords. Champion try to make that happen there on the inside of the 98. Front straightaway looking pretty darn fantastic as Homestead goes to work. This is the start of the race. Cole Morton, up 7 spots early, 13.99 on the I rating. Cole trying to push in. Huggins, 9.59 on the I rating. Right ahead of him, Fleckenstein, 56.30. Drivers putting in. How about Jerry Culver? Oh, Jerry makes some things happen over the course of the last week or 2. He's doing great. 45 has the 99 on the paint scheme. He's going to be free right there. 22.58 on Rick L. Kennedy Jr. The PBR racing machine. Brian Wertman, 74, looking ahead. Tyler Dalton, 0.8 of a second difference here as the gap goes in. Bottom side. Jorgensen, same concept. Bottom side out of 3 and 4. Is Bentley Glazer working the outside lane on Logan Kogar. Down to 65 underway. No stages, just straight racing. They all go to work. Jorgensen Jr. into the straightaway, closing in about 1/10 here as they get into 3 and 4. Tires are warmed up. Drivers should be cycled out. And we'll see what Jorgensen can do as these drivers go to work. Seth Foudy behind Kevin Stone. Put up in the braking zone. Will be side by side. Drops into the bottom. 37 of Griesbaum right there. Kevin Stone high on the race line, 22.47. Keeping it work. Arrow, massive for these drivers. '98 will give way to the 17. Jerry went for a ride there. What happened? Let's take a look. The 18 to the 87 right there. Jerry Culver on the inside. 87 comes down, right rears the 3. 18 down on the inside lane as well. Unfortunate. Head of 65. Jerry coming to pit lane here. Tyler Dalton. She's still out there working. Jeff K in the 18 is able to salvage the car. Here he got the worst end of that one. Hate that for him. Tyler Dalton working. 0.6 of a second difference here between he and Mark Jorgensen Jr. 11 of 65. Cody Harris, Logan Kogar. Bull Bolton still up 7. Man, oh man. Joey Chatina up 3 as the 14 goes to work. Churchy just behind, off 4 from the start of the race. Try to maximize the race line here. Tyler Dalton up and working. Glazer side by side with the 80, 13 of 65. Good look at the pass for Bentley. There's a 36. See the 80 get right back side by side. That's the pass that makes this interesting. As the 80 will look to try to slide the same corner. Jake Champion just behind. 80 up and out of the corner. Who's got the race line to beat here? As Brian Workman makes a pass on Matt Lewis. He is working ahead. Jake Champion, Bentley Glazer, and of course Jake Champion. Get a good toe here. Seth Foudy just behind him. Bentley looking good so far. Logan Kogar working as well. Bentley's had great fortune here. Tyler Dalton 0.6 of a second as he and Mark Jorgensen Jr. Doing good. So far, so good. Jorgie. His last lap, similar to what Tyler Dalton's been working. Tyler Dalton led 15, the first 15 laps. We'll see if Jorgensen can do anything about it. Cody Harris, 1.5 back from Mark Jorgensen Jr. His last lap compared to the leader's last lap. A little bit faster than the leader. 33.936. It's good pace still. Logan Kogar's last lap as Bentley Glazer goes side by side with him. 34.184. Glazer trying to make that inside lane stick. Looking to try to clear. Bentley just a touch off, trying to get clear of Kogar here. Kogar frees up to 36. Just that arrow dump right there, the nose to the back bumper to the 36 out of the corner makes that interesting for sure. Big champion Seth Foudy side by side. His fastest lap at 33.513. Good battle happening. Little wall tap for the 5. Seth Foudy back on the inside. 17 working hard for his money. 5 up near the wall. Drive off. This is what I talked about, this high line. This high line can be a good defensive weapon, but it could be worse. It does like to eat up the tires, that's for sure. Tyler Dalton managing Mark Jorgensen Jr. right now. Cody Harris, same last lap, 22 and a quarter. As the gap here between he and the lead. Able to close into Jorgensen a little bit here. Jorgensen at lap 20. I don't think he was really pushing all that much. Tyler Dalton able a good look and a good run on that 19. Jerry out of the race, retired. Too much damage for the car. I hate that for him. We'll throw this on to see where the racing's happening. And then Glazer, Logan Kogar, 4.95 seconds. Big champion, 5.8 back a second the gap. As Glazer sees champion trying to close down. Champion sees Logan Kogar trying to close down. SIM500, if you want to see the schedule of what's going on with these drivers, it's going to be kind of awesome to work. 36 and the 80 check up in front of them. But Bentley Glazer trying to keep the 80 at bay. 36 with a run. 80. Trying to keep it honest right here. The battle for fourth. Next week, Atlanta Motor Speedway is where they're running. Then they're going to go to Daytona, Texas, Rockingham. That'll be the first 5 weeks. They're going to take 31st off for Halloween. Then they'll go to Michigan. Oh, caution comes out, the 80 and the 36. 80 bottom side. Oh, man, let's back up a little bit. This track always does that to me. I go and I click play. Bam. $80 on the bottom side. 36 went to crossover. 80's free. He's just a little sideways. The 36 had that clean crossover. If I go to Bentley Glazer's point of view, back up here just a little bit. Went to cross him over. Yeah, you see the 80's steering wheel or his car, the nose of his car. We go right front. Right here. Quarter speed. 80 is sliding up the racetrack. You can see he's already sideways. And 36, yeah, he's coming across the nose already. Bentley Glazer. So Bentley gets a little bit of a tag out of that one. Kogar coming around. Going to be Keegan Fleckenstein there in the 9 car. So we'll see who comes to pit road. Tyler Dalton's going to be one of those drivers. Jorgensen Jr. will be right behind him. Cody Harris working as well. First caution of the race as they all come to pit road. Ryan Workman looks to stay out. The lineup for pit road, and they'll exit. As they do, keep them all working. Sorry, I had check on the dogs here real quick. To apologize about that. 4/10 of a second, 31 of 65 as we're halfway through it. Jorgensen and Cody Harris close as they've been. Beth Foudy up 2, Jake Champion up 2. And Brian Woodman, he came, he's tailing into this one. We'll see how he works. Jeff K is going to be 2 laps down to the 18. Cole Morton out of the race. Culver out of the race. And drivers working hard. Good understatement for this one. Tyler Dalton, half second to Jorgensen Jr. Cody Harris kind of looked like it freed up a little bit there for him. Drivers came to pit road and run about 8 laps on this tire cycle. Everybody doing a pretty bang-up job right now. Doing what they need to do. Good deal. 95 to the 88. Cody Harris just behind Jorgensen Jr. Drivers working to their strengths as it would be. Jake Champion is a good look right now. 1.5 back. It's going to be Andrew Griesbaum at 37. Ron Holyfield at 25. Hogar off 3, but working back forward as well. The check in on Bentley Glazer. Just behind Joey Jatina, who's up 7. The spots gained by drivers so far is 14. This is going to work. 36 of Bentley Glazer got a little bit of the nose damage fixed when he came to pit road. Battling with what he's got. Bollinger, thank you for the like. I appreciate you. Luckenstein, 10 spots gained. Or sorry, intense. 14 makes the pass, up 8. Ron Holyfield up 5. Next biggest mover so far. Kogar off 3. Still trying to work forward. Ron Holyfield behind a 37. Tyler Dalton to Mark Jorgensen Jr. and Cody Harris. Half second of the gap. 2/10 of a second back from Jorgensen as they track in and try to close into that gap. 30 laps to go this next time by. Tyler Dalton up and out. Trying to extend here in the late going. Oh, Budgie may be there. She may not be there. She might have gone to bed early. Sometimes that happens. She's dealing with a sick Budgie right now. Excuse me. Oh, Cody Harris trying to make a pass on the 88 there. A little extra sideways head of the corner. Harris digging in. Going to get their second lane out. Jorgensen freed up there. Harris to the inside. Harris to the 88. Side draft for the 88. 88's going to throttle back up. Going to be able to be there on corner exit. And here comes Seth Foudy. Seth Foudy looking to make it happen. His drivers lost about 3/10 of a second on that last lap, just racing each other. Crazy to kind of see. Seth down at the back straightaway. Backs up the corner. Looks to go to the high side. See if he sets up a run for the front straightaway as the 88 tries to track back down the 19. 17 with a run. Into the gas, back into the gas. Good run. Oh, baby. Seth Foudy takes over third. Cody Harris out of the bottom set. Out of the gas again. That's going to have the straightaway here. Good closing distance. Out of the bottom. 95 doing a great job of running that second lane, that second seam. Trying to get there to corner exit. Gets to the back bumper to the 17. Pushing him down to the back straightaway. Going to double up the corner. If he gets right back to the outside, it's going to be there, but it's going to get tight. Having to get out of the gas, almost getting into the right rear quarter panel of the 17, but doing a great job of managing as the Ford Taurus goes toward Tyler Dalton working. But to go to bed yourself, just get back from your IRL stuff. Yeah, we're doing all of it. 25 laps to go. Jorgensen, 0.6 of a second. Seth Foudy closing in. Cole, thank you for subscribing to YouTube, brother. I appreciate you. Jeff K, Matt Huggins out of the race, but Jeff K gains another spot, still 2 laps down. Brian Workman middle of the field here. We'll see what his fuel strategy might be with 24 laps to go. Rick Kennedy Jr. spot gain. Matt Lewis 4 spots gain. Church off 2 from the start of the race, but does have Kevin Stone and Fleckenstein just ahead. Bentley Glazer busting out of the corner. Jatina up 8. Working. 18 to the bottom side of the 25. Kogar. The 3600 I-rated driver working. Holyfield sees the 14, gives a lot of room, clears up. It's going to be good. Joey working second seam. 23 laps to go. Griesbaum up 3. 37. Got to march forward. 6.7 back into the corner. Jake Champion of 5th. And Cody Harris trying to work on Seth Foudy. Jorgensen Jr. within 0.6 of a second, trying to close in on Tyler Dalton. He's been lights out from the beginning. FK just ahead, still a little nose damage. Be the race leader, Tyler Dalton, coming around. Jorgensen Jr. up and out, corner exit. Seth Foudy, natural line. Cody Harris trying to work. Jake Champion on the charge here, 1.8. Back from Tyler Dalton. He's changed his race lineup, running way up that seam. With Foudy trying to pull away from the 95. Jake Champion going to close in that distance. Half second the gap from Mark Jorgensen Jr. He gets into the corner. 6/10 corner out, 3 and 4. Jorgensen figuring a thing or two out as they start to close down. Those laps being the challenge. 1 and 2. Good for Jorgensen as he's trying to close it on the 19 here towards the later part of this run. Foudy searching for clean air on corner exit. Go to Harris, quarter second back from there. Big Champion's last lap, a little bit better. Seth Foudy ran just a touch faster than the field, including Tyler Dalton on that last lap. See Tyler catch the draft of the 18 ahead of him. Jorgensen Jr. Now again, Tyler Dalton might be just on save mode here. Might be on what's valuable on the race line currently. 17, we'll see the 95 clear up. 95 getting a run there. A little free on corner exit, but they've all closed in to the 88 here in the closing laps. Gonna get anything for Tyler Dalton. Tyler Dalton, corner exit. 18 of Jeff K. Look to stay high as Tyler Dalton tries to make the pass. 4/10 of a second difference here. 18. Third lane up. Good draft. 18 trying to stay off the wall there. Jorgensen Jr. work. FK bottom side, 17 of the 95. 18 bottom side, trying to get out of the way. It's what he's trying to do. Try not to impact the race too much there at the end. 17 laps to go. 0.4 of a second. Bentley Glazer coming to pit road. FK on pit road. Kennedy and Brian Workman will make that pass. Brian Workman working the caution laps might have helped the cause of the 74. He's got an extra set. Workman 25 and a half back, though. But about a second off the pace per lap of these drivers. 16 laps to go. Things have settled in. Seth Foudy is closed in. Cody Harrison 4. Jake Champion is closing in on Cody Harris as well. 1.8 the gap there. Logan Kogar 4.3 back from there. 6 seconds off the pace of the leader. Clean air for Seth Foudy, or a little bit of draft here as they come around. His last lap 34.27. This time by 34.38. Cody Harris just ran a 34.17. So he's closed up a little bit here. Foudy trying to change the line on 1 and 2. 95 on corner exit, trying to throttle out. Big wiggle out of the nose. When I say a big wiggle, subtle wiggle out of the nose. That changed the line on 3 and 4 down to the bottom. 0.8 of a second. Jorgensen Jr., 15, now 14 laps to go. Top 5 within a straightaway of each other. Logan Kogar off a spot from the start of the race. He is closed in. How about Joey Jatina? He's up 9, started 18th. I'm sorry, started 17th. And he's got Griesbaum ahead of him. Out for 7th might be on here very soon. 14 laps to go. Keegan Fleckenstein, a little free. For the 87, Church in 12th, off 1, still working. Kevin Stone just ahead of the 98. Everybody enjoying the race line. 0.4 of a second difference here for the 19 or the 88. Seth Foudy trying to close it down here in the Ford. Jorgensen doing what he can. Seth just behind. Going to see that dirty air tighten him up a little bit here. We'll see what he does on the run. Straight away. These drivers trying to close it down. Second through 4th within a blanket. Tyler Dalton going to be hard pressed to try to hold them all off. Seth Foudy, Cody Harris side by side into the corner, but Seth Foudy will clear up and have a run at the 88. 95 trying to step out of the line. We're at 4th right now. 17 to the 88. 17 right there on the back bumper of the 88. Brings him up, gets there. Big run for the 95, big swing. 88 all the way to the bottom. Foudy to the outside. 95 looking 3 wide. 17 out of the corner. 88's going to clear all the way up. 88's going to be free. Jorgensen under a nose. Seth Foudy, 0.6 of a second, 11 laps to go, trying to run back and get there. Ryan Workman, bottom side of the race line, giving the race way. For those drivers, Kennedy just ahead. 45 working. Jeff K coming off pit road. 3 minutes, 50 seconds fixed on that car. And right now, Tyler Dalton seeing Seth Foudy and Jorgensen Jr. in tow. Cody Harris just behind, trying to get there as well. Tyler Dalton, 0.7 of a second. 9 laps to go. Midnight Thunder Series. If you haven't joined it, you can join it. It's free to join. Get out there and run with some of the best on midnight. You join their league at SIM500.com. See all the information, everything they've got going on. 88 back to the outside. Cody Harris trying to make the pass on Jorgensen. Jorgensen will double back the corner. We'll get right there to the outside quarter panel and have a run off quarter exit. Cody Harris trying to throttle up. Jake Champion is closed in as well. He's looking ahead. Half second of the gap for Seth Foudy and Tyler Dalton. Seth Foudy closing. Jorgensen Jr. He's the 95 cleared up. 88 back to the outside. As the 95 tries to turn into the corner. 88 looks to work. Second out. Big run. Can he get there? A good look. 7 laps to go. The battle is on. Tyler Dalton doing a great job of keeping everybody at bay. Seth Foudy doing a great job of keeping an outside lane working. Kennedy, bottom side of the race line. Picking to the access road, Tyler Dalton. 4/10 of a second difference. Jorgensen Jr. behind Cody Harris with Kennedy coming to pit road. Dalton still within an eye shot, finishing this race. Right now, 59 laps led, 6 laps to go. Seth Foudy trying to lead something. His last lap, 1,000th off the pace. That's kind of crazy to see that that's the only difference. Out of the corner they go. Seth Foudy trying to close in. Last time by his last lap and the leader's last lap, about a 0.5 off. As Seth Foudy tries to close it in. Only one caution on this race. 5 laps to go. Right now, Foudy trying to close it back down. Jorgensen back to the inside on the 95. 88 drops, double dips into the corner. 95, second, third lane up. Jorgensen trying to close it in. Rips the bottom side on the white line. We'll see if he can give enough room to be able to make it happen. 0.5 second the gap for Tyler Dalton. Seth Foudy in second. Cody Harris in third. Cody Harris trying to hold off Jorgensen Jr. Oh, Jorgensen. Cody Harris way out of the gas there. Jorgensen had such a good run into the corner. That eats the run up. Now Jorgensen having to change his lane. 3 laps to go. Dalton to Seth Foudy. At bay. Good run. How about them nights? Joey Chatina, still your hard charger. 0.3 of a second between he and Andrew Griesbaum. We'll see it. 2 laps to go. Jorgensen Jr. 3/4 of a second back now from Harris. Jake Champion working. Jorgensen changing the lane up. Been on an egg shape on the corner, trying to get there and send it for the final couple of corners. Everybody's done a great job. Ron Holyfield up 2. Fleckenstein up a spot. Kogar still looking for one more, but 2.4 to the gap. Tyler Dalton out of 3 and 4. Gonna make it happen. It's led from the word go. White flag waves. Final lap. Give it a little love to our WBD diecast on Wednesday nights. That's the other time you get to see SIM500 on Signature Esports. That is sim500.com. Their truck series, absolutely amazing. Shout out to Wesley Donaldson of the WBD diecast Customs. Tyler Dalton, final time out of 3 and 4. Week 1 goes the way of the 19. Tyler Dalton at Homestead, Miami gets the win. Seth Foudy will be second. Cody Harris will turn over a top three. Jorgensen Jr. will be a P4. Big champion of top five tonight. Joey Jatina, last lap, getting a spot out of it. He finishes seventh, up 10 spots. Hard charger tonight. Not a bad looking day, as it would be. Tyler Dalton to celebrate as we wait for the official race results, unofficial official race results. Here for the SIM500 Midnight Thunder Series goes to week one. Tyler Dalton, Seth Foudy, Cody Harris, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Jake Champion, your top five. Bogart, Jeptina, Griesbaum, Fleckenstein, Ron Holyfield, your top 10. Churchy finishes in 11th. Kevin Stone in 12th. Matt Lewis in 13th. Rick L. Kennedy Jr. finishes in 14th. Brian Workman in 15th. Jeff K. Glazer, Huggins, Morton, and Culver, your top 20. One other driver registered for the race, but the 81 did not start the race. So Scotty will be at the tail end of that one. And I tell you what, good dang old race. Or Tyler Dalton, Spartanburg, South Carolina. I can speak today, I promise. Let's go. What a good race. Good race. Ain't no wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I get to talk to Seth too. I haven't talked to Seth in a while. Burn it down, sir. Burn it down. Oh, man. Good race. Good race. There he is. About that from the word go. Every lap, every part of this race belongs to Mr. Tyler Dalton. Congrats, man. That was a good race. Way to manage. That was crazy to watch drivers charge to you, and then, about 4/10 of a second is about all they could get.
Thank you. Yeah, I love this track. Just trying to, honestly, I have one speed here. I can't really pick it up, and I can't really slow it down. If I try to go any faster, I go slower. So I just maintain my pace. Uh, Great run there for Seth at the end. I couldn't make the top work in 1 and 2 the way he was, but when I saw him coming on the top, I moved up a lane. I remembered from a couple weeks ago, late in the run, that you could gained a little bit of speed there in 1 and 2. I knew it would hurt the tires a smidge, but with about 10 to go, figured I had some tires to give up there. So moved up, maybe dumped a little bit of air on him if I could there on corner exit, and just tried to maintain. I was 1 and 2. Plenty of guys out here were just as fast as me, if not faster. But 3 and 4, like Mark was saying, just my bread and butter here. Seems like I just can get it to rotate better in the center and get a better exit off of 4 with about any car that we run here.
It was the gain. That was the gains that I saw. They'd go to throw it in 1 and 2. It didn't matter where it was, but 3 and 4 was it was interesting. I mean, it's what makes this track so good. No matter what we drive, no matter what we look at, this track just it throws racing all the way around this racetrack. You see good defensive positioning. You can see drivers, make lines and make things work. And man, as smooth as this surface could be, this car makes it feel like almost makes it look like it feels like butter.
It's bumpier than you would think, but yeah, this track is great because you aren't stuck behind somebody. You can run different lines, just like you saw Seth there doing at the end. You saw him get by Mark doing different lines. You saw Cody running different lines. It's not just a choo-choo train hoping the guy in front of you makes a mistake or burns his tires off. You can actually go up there and do something different. Always love this track. It's suiting like this car and this track goes together so well because if you think about it, when they reconfigured this track, but no, they did. This was the first 2003 was when they refigured this car, and this car we're racing is based off the 2003 Cup car, so it fits perfectly.
Didn't Homestead get a repave in between then though? That was what I was referring to, was this setup. That's what I was. I might be wrong on that one, but I still like the fact that this track works so well with the car, and still after all these years, being modeled after the 2003 model, it really does. It allows it to show up, allows it to run, the 185 plus miles an hour that you would normally see, and still feel like you can back up the car and drive the car around the racetrack.
Yeah, I looked up, it looks like the last full repave was in 2003, so we're actually running on a really old surface, an older surface than they would run back then, so,
I like it.
yeah, it fits it well. I'm sure back then it was a little bit smoother and a little bit faster with the brand new pavement, but, they had a really good idea with this track where it took them 3 tries, but they, finally got a really good design of this track, and I'm happy to see in real life it's going back to the championship race. Always enjoyed the track on watching it on TV and racing it, so.
No, I completely agree. That was when they announced they were going to go back in 2026. I was like, finally, we're going to go back to where I feel like more drivers. I mean, Team Penske has had a lock on Phoenix for a couple of years, um, and I'm not knocking Penske cars, but we don't want one team to. I want to feel like any driver that goes in there can win that race and get out there and showboat what they can do. And I really like this track, and I tell you what, seeing as it would be if they can maintain this track for the future, it'd be really cool to see multiple multiple races here each year as well, because I mean, let's face it, Homestead is bread and butter. It's just really good racing.
Yep, it is indeed, and I don't want to take up too much time. I know it's late. Seth's down there waiting, but I really do appreciate you putting on the broadcast. I had a great time tonight, and hopefully get to talk with you next week too.
I like it. Yeah, we're gonna go to. I had it pulled up. Dang it.
Old Atlanta. We're basically
yeah.
going back to the way we finished the end of last season. So,
Just in reverse order. I like it.
yep.
Let's do the thing. All right, brother. I appreciate you as always. Enjoy your night, and we'll see you Wednesday.
You too, man. Have a good one.
It's Tyler Dalton, your victor here tonight. As he closes that one out. What a good dang old race that was. Let's bring up Seth. I was talking about. I get the chance to talk to Seth. Seth is good people, and good people had a good run. I tell you what, man. Just 5 more laps, and 5 more laps where you had a little bit cleaner air. Because, man, oh man, you were charging. I talk about the 410th mark and kind of how that works. But P2 tonight, man, congratulations. This was good to watch. I was watching you duke it out, man. Like you had the boxing gloves up. You were, looked like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Doing the thing. You were pulling out the Ali moves.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was definitely slick tonight. Track temperature was up. So of course these cars generally are they got a lot of power and stuff like that. So they're kind of tough to contain anyway. I think last time we did an interview, we kind of chit chatted about some of that. But tonight it was real slick. You just had to really do your best with the throttle control. And we kind of charged back up. We dropped a little bit. We checked up for I think it's Chapman. I think that's who it was. Checked up for him a little bit and lost a few spots. And we just kept pushing on. And really the key was just not overheating the tires and not wearing them out too quick. And as you know, the tires do wear out pretty fast here. So actually my last run there was 59 on the front right and 59 on the right rear. So yeah, they were getting down there on the course of a run, but overall I'm happy with the finish. I wish we would have been able to catch Tyler there at the end, but when I moved up to that second lane, I knew that was going to be fast off, right? So that kind of got me some big runs, and I was able to catch the guys that were in front of me. But once I was able to get by them, they kind of got to battling back and forth with each other. So that gave me a little bit of a gap, and I could focus on Tyler more. But like you were saying, dirty air plays a factor in these cars, big time. And then, of course, with chewing the tires up, running on the high side like that, it's kind of I was kind of hoping maybe Tyler would move up there at some point, and maybe maybe we could he would tear his stuff up a little bit quicker or maybe get it loose off a little bit more. But he did really good, and certainly a well-deserved win on his part. So, yeah.
I mean, chasing him is one thing, catching him is another, and then passing him here. We watched the defensive line, and you're able to utilize that too. Somebody tries to sneak back to the inside. You and Cody Harris were having a good little stint there, where it was, it was anybody's race for a moment. And then when you got to Jorgensen's back, Jorgie's back bumper, it was everything that you would expect out of this car to free up the rear end. It happened all in that one corner in 3 and 4.
Yeah, definitely. And I think honestly, if Cody would have been able to make the pass on me, before we got to Jorgensen, I think that it would have been him and Tyler, running for the win. Because when we caught Jorgensen, it was kind of like the right moment in time for me, right? Because I took a different lane, and I don't really know what was going on with Jorgensen. I don't know if he was battling tires or what, but Cody, I think that kind of stunted Cody out a little bit, and whatever he had going at that point kind of was lost. Because you're right. I mean, I kept checking the rearview mirror, and of course Sam, she's talking to me and telling me, how far back he is, and that he was gaining on me. And actually I think for quite a few laps, he was actually 2/10 faster than me. So he was making some heavy ground, catching back up to me. And then, like I said, the catching up to Jorgensen really kind of was able to, that was the pivotal moment in the race for me to be able to get some distance on those guys. And I think that kind of is what kind of messed his race up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, it was tough. I think he would have probably been the one fighting for the win there, because he was running, I believe, the low line. And I looked back in the rearview the one time out of 4, and it looked like maybe he was kind of doing the washing up the track kind of thing. You know what I mean? He was kind of coming in low and then maybe washing up. And I didn't catch it every time, but I did see him do it once, and I thought, okay, well, that must be where he's getting his big runs off. But yeah. Anyway.
It was weird because I'd watch him run left side tires halfway below the seam in the second lane. So he was like maybe a quarter of a car in the first lane, and he would just barely diamond the corner enough. Like you just where that, especially in 1 or 2 where that bump is in middle 1 or 2, he would do well enough to just, like, it's like he was missing it and just trying to have a smooth drive off. It was crazy to watch. Likewise, even tire wear, that was an asset to you. Even tire wear in this car is an accomplishment, and a good one for sure. If you've run 59s on front the right front and right rear, that's massive.
Yeah, just backing up the corners, which has always been typical on this track. This is one of them goofy tracks, right, where you feel like you can just drive it in really far.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. But it's completely the opposite effect, right? Like in order to be fast on the long run, you have to back up the corner so much. And in this car specifically, you really got to back it up really far. So, and it's not the light switch effect either, right? Like you're easy off the throttle and just letting it kind of roll. I did have my brakes set at like a 62.5% brake bias, so a little bit more in the front, but I kind of find with this car to have a little extra front brake, because, when you do have to slow down a little bit or whatever, then you can lose this car pretty quick. So having a little extra in the front is kind of nice for those sticky situations. But yeah, I mean it definitely worked out as well. Getting off, that was the other thing. Getting through the turn and then getting off the corner is the other thing, right? Like you're not full throttle until you're straight on the backstretch. So, with this car, with how much power it has, and then, with the design of the track too, in order to keep the tires from wearing out, you can't just stomp on it. In other cars, you could stomp on it, but it's not even recommended in those cars because you'll tear up the tires. So, just being easy on the throttle, wait until I was, down the back stretch or down the front stretch, knowing that I wasn't gonna lose the car at all. I really didn't get. I think maybe 3 times in the race did I feel the back end kind of kicking out just a little bit. Nothing severe though. So it was just a matter of, holding it at the same throttle position all the way through the turn. And then until I got to the front or back. So, yeah.
Like micro adjustments. That's what I like about it. 900 horsepower. I miss the days. That's for darn sure.
Right.
I think if we put 900 horsepower in the next generation Cup car, right now it would be it'd be a hot mess. They'd have to remove the diffuser. It would just have to remove that diffuser. That thing would squat so much. But then again, I think they would. I think that the horsepower. They talk about the tire model, and I think the horsepower and tire model coincide. They want more tire where you need more of something turning it to be able to force the tires to slip up a little bit more. Don't blame Goodyear. You can only blame what we're running. But I like it.
Yeah.
I like the 03 car. I think this is the glory days of racing. These are the days of racing that I miss the most.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I enjoy this as well. I do like the next gen car, but I also would like to see some changes. I remember the Gen 6 car. I believe that was the one. It had a lot of horsepower. And that was really tough to drive. I never see anybody driving that car much anymore, but it kind of reminds me of this one. That car was really, really tough to drive. And it took a lot of skill. Not anybody could do it. Heck, I remember on most restarts for the longest time, people would just wreck on a restart. They'd lose control and they'd wreck. And I remember iRacing, brought out a patch or whatever, and I guess kind of toned down I don't know if they toned down the throttling on it or what they did, but to try to help, I guess, with some of that wheel spin on starts and restarts. But this car is back to those days. Like if on a start or restart, you got to be careful. You cannot mash down. And hats off to everybody that's racing tonight, because I mean this was a clean race for a car that was that difficult to drive. As well as we had, one restart there, and then of course the start of the race. I mean, everybody did a fantastic job of not looping it around or anything like that. So you just really got to be careful with this thing, because it'll get away from you real quick. But yeah, as far as the next gen car, I'd like to see them do some changes. I know, I guess seems like they're kind of messing with the tires or whatever, and trying to make things exciting. And some of the races this year have been really exciting, from a real life perspective. So I'd like to see them, do some adjustments to the horsepower. And it sounds like a lot of drivers would like to see them do that too. So who knows what they'll do. You never know with NASCAR. I heard a crazy thing. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I heard they were going to go to, back to points racing. I don't know if that's true or not either, but
there's a lot of, they call it silly season for a reason, right? There's a lot of rumors in the rumor mill right now about who's doing what NASCAR's talking about. And, until they make the announcement, I mean, we have the schedule set and for 2026, and it's still showing the current playoff structure for those races. So, so far we'll see. Of course, they could change it all up, and they could still do the playoff format, but get away. I'd like this stage racing to an extent, but I think that we don't need to stop. I think we could just score points. Cool. You want to stage? Let's keep racing. But then again, advertisers need those dollars as well, and there's more commercial breaks. And I get the business side of things, but as a NASCAR fan, as a guy who loves watching guys go in circles, I think the formula has worked for a little bit, but I think that as a standard in racing, NASCAR just needs to figure out what's good for them and, go from there. I mean, I'm going to support what they do regardless. And, we'll just see how it works. The horsepower, though, I think that is an issue. I think that being in the 700 range for a car that is supposed to be, push rod V8, it's not ideal, and I think we could have better
Right.
racing and more tire wear and more dynamic racing if we match the car horsepower to the tire model that we're currently using, so that way it manages. And that's just an engineering. I mean, if we're thinking about how NASCAR has been able to do things, the Gen 6 car is my favorite car on the platform. Actually, we have a throwback series that I host and I throw on, on Monday nights, and so we're still running that car. But and it puts on some phenomenal racing for having no support from the iRacing platform anymore. It still races the same way it raced before, and the drivers have been enjoying it. So,
That's cool.
I like seeing every era of racing come through here. We've watched the 87s. I've been able to be out there for the Gen 4s, the Gen 3 era, just the car of tomorrow, which if anybody likes driving the car of tomorrow, you're absolutely insane. That is all horsepower, no brain. That's what that car is. And if you don't believe me, if you don't own the car, the next test drive, grab the car of tomorrow and put it on Atlanta 2008.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever run it on Atlanta 2008, but I see them like people running it on, and we've done that a few times in this league, but running it on the plate tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess seems to be kind of a wild thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're talking by yourself, 210 miles an hour, 215 miles an hour.
It's a bit nutty.
Yeah, and that goes back to the days of tandem drafting like this car. This car could tandem draft, if it was coded right, it could tandem draft.
Sure.
But I mean, it's the car of tomorrow is the biggest mistake NASCAR ever made. That's the reason why it came out halfway in the middle of a year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that was a time period. I wasn't watching NASCAR a whole lot during that time period, but I do remember a lot of people saying that was literally the garbage car of of the of all time, I guess you could say. So
yeah. If you
people
ask,
didn't really care for it much.
if you ask most of the Dale Jr.-esque era of racing what they think of the car of tomorrow, and they'll tell you. Be pretty much a consensus. But it was good. I mean, there was good racing there too. It just looked like a hot pile of mess. The drivers, when they wrecked, oh my goodness, they tore up more catch fences in those cars than it did any years prior. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
So, but all right, Seth, we could talk for hours, but I probably shouldn't.
Right.
We should all go to bed because it's now finally midnight where I live, and
1 a.m. for me.
Yeah, brother. All right, brother. Give your shout outs, man.
Yeah, all right, man. So thank you to you for the broadcast and stuff like that. It's always a joy being able to talk with you and get to hang out and stuff like that. So that I really enjoy. It's always neat knowing that I'm coming into a race and you're the broadcaster. So I appreciate you and what you do at Signature Esports and everything. And of course I have to give a shout out to SIM500. And Joey and the admins. It's funny, before I went to the race tonight, I was thinking about Joey and I was like, he was giving his whole speech that he gives at the very beginning. And I was thinking, man, this guy is committed, right? Like he's been doing this for so long. And I just thought, man, like good on him, right? To show up to all these races and say the same things over and over again. And, I mean, that's daunting. So hats off to Joey and of course all the admins that put on all these races and everything. Of course, I want to give a shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to give a shout out to my wife for always crew chiefing and spotting for me and everything, and my family. So yeah, appreciate it and thanks, man. Thanks, Jason.
As always, Seth, tell Sam I said hello, and
We'll do, man, for sure.
And you be good. I'll see you next week.
All right, buddy. See ya.
That's Seth Fowdy coming home. dang old P2. We like the guy. We like his fam. Love them all. I love all of these folks. Cody Harris finishes third. Great and a great night. He's not wrong. Joey's committed. Similar to Stryker and John Hammond, for those who are really familiar with our stuff. Joey's just as committed. Joey's, if there's a season to be had for me, he's immediately with me, right? So like he doesn't beat around the bush. He gets right to the point. He gets right into the racing. He wants this thing to continue. I mean, this Midnight Thunder series is in its 34th iteration with this race, like hot end to that 34th iteration, which is probably one of the longest series that I've seen run. I know they only run 10-week schedules, but I mean, you're still thinking 340 weeks, right? That's crazy. Plus bye weeks and off weeks and all that stuff. So, bear that in mind. It's crazy as it is. It takes a lot of commitment for these league owners to do what they do, and for them to have sponsorship dollars or put up the money themselves, to be able to, one, have a place for me to come call a race, but two, to have a place for these drivers to call home as well. So regardless of how many leagues you run, when you find a good one, you have a tendency to stick through it. And Joey, from the top to the bottom with SIM500, they're great. Same with Chop Chop. Same with Amp Racing. Amp Racing, I promise you, is up and coming. They've really figured out how they like to race and the style of racing they have, and just how comfortable everybody can be with each other. So thoroughly happy to see them continue to press on, and I'm glad to be back for another series. They'll be at Atlanta next week, and then we'll be back to racing. We have a race on Sunday for Kansas during the day, but tomorrow it is just chill time. We were supposed to be going to Kansas Speedway this weekend, but we had to sell our tickets so that way so that I can continue to afford some of the chemo treatment that I'm going through. So it's kind of crazy, right? Tyler Dalton, though, gets the win here tonight, week 1 of the 34th iteration of the Midnight Thunder series here for SIM500. It was a lot of fun. We appreciate everybody. Be good, be safe, but kind of one of the most important factor of life. We'll see everybody in the stream in the morning, and we'll see you soon. Peace.